Hello everyone! So today I'm going to share ideas on how to pose women. Hi guys, my name is MR.DASANTE and I'm a fashion content creator who teaches men and women how to pose for photos. As some of you may know, I'm the guy that does this in his videos. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to go from this to this when it comes to posing women. Now the question I get from the ladies is how to look photogenic when taking photos. One thing for sure is that it takes someone to bring out the best features when taking photos. Today, I'm with the lovely Liana, who I've created a lot of posing videos with. Our most viral video to date has over 78 million views, which I'm grateful for. So let's start with this. When it comes to posing, the aim is to create some form and to bring out some shape. In my humble opinion, what defines a woman's form is her curves. For a man, it's his chest and his shoulders. So one of the tips is never stand flat-footed when you're taking photos, right? You're not a penguin. Okay, you're not a penguin, so never stand flat-footed, right? Okay, it doesn't matter if you're taking a family photo or photos for LinkedIn. You don't want to stand like this flat-footed because you're not a penguin. Because it is very static for a woman to stand like this, there always has to be some sort of movement one way or another. One way or another, I wanna see ya, I wanna get you. Sorry. The easiest way to get posing ideas is like this. Okay, Liana, you're gonna have to mirror my movements, yeah? So bear with me, because I am clumsy. But here we go, yeah? All right, ready? One leg out. Okay, one leg back. Bend the knee. Okay, shoulders back. Right, chest forward a bit. Okay, hands on hip. Now look to the side. Oh yeah. Obviously, this was easy, as you've seen, because I'm posing with Liana, who's posed with me many times, but this is a method you can use to find your groove. Now, the definition of posing is to assume a particular position in order to be photographed. So when it comes to posing, it doesn't matter how you necessarily look. Obviously, Liana looks amazing. What matters is more so the angles and directions you take in order to look photogenic. So posing sometimes can come across as quite awkward because of the positioning, but once you see the results, you'll be stunned. It is always important to put the weight of the body one way or the other. So back to the question, how to pose a lady or woman that brings out her curves in a systematic step-by-step kind of way. Here is how you do it. Turn the body at an angle, point one toe forward, bend the knee, shoulders back, lean the chest forward, and arms off the body. So now, ladies and gentlemen, you can see we're bringing out her curves. Doesn't she look amazing? She does. So when it comes to posing, don't just pose for the sake of posing. You have to pose according to the light source. So in this case, the direction of the light is coming from here. Because the light is coming from this direction, it is always important to pose at an angle, 45 degrees, right? Where your body is away from the light until a shadow appears in the middle of your dress. So our body's away from the light, but our left leg, which is closer to the light, has to be pointing towards the camera. So now our body is away from the light. Our left leg, which is closer to the light, needs to be pointing at the camera. So the leg that is closest to the camera, which is our left leg in this case, is the one you bend. Like that. So the weight distribution will always be on her back leg. So remember when I said hands on hips for this particular pose? Always remember that your body needs to be facing away from whichever direction the light is coming from, whether it's left or right. Your eyes, your face needs to be facing the light or into the camera. So when a lady is posing like this, you need to always remember that her chin needs to be facing her outer shoulder towards the light or towards the camera. This type of method is considered to be very feminine. So now we understand the nature and the form of a female pose. Let's elaborate more on this. So to bring out the beauty of the dress, right, it is always important when posing is to bring your shoulders back, right, and arms off the body. The reason being is because when your arms is off the body, it will make your arms look slimmer. Because as you know, some women, like I said, some women, so don't get me in trouble, right? Some women, they're very insecure about their arms being big. So posing in this way can make your arms look smaller. Whereas with men, we want our arms to look big. Obviously, in my case, my arms are very small, but I make up for it with my good looks and my third leg. I'm joking. Guys, if you like videos like this, don't forget to click the link in the description or to the side to gain access to my posing guide to take your photos to the next level. So in conclusion, if you bring your arms closer to your body, it will make your arms look big, which for girls can be a touchy subject, whereas for men, our insecurity is more our gut, our bald head, and our mind. So when it comes to posing women, you always have to give them an excuse to bring their arms off their body. This can be in the form of them holding their hair, right, like this. Yeah. like this, or holding a veil like they're getting married. Also, I wanted to point out what happens when you bring your shoulders back. So, bring your shoulders back. Okay, you already done that. So what do you guys notice? I guess I don't need to answer that question because you can already see. Your bust or your chest area becomes fuller, which for some ladies, you know, some ladies love their bust to look fuller. So in this example would be a good thing. So this is why I suggest that the ladies bring their shoulders back, because then it makes their chest look fuller. On the other hand, if you are insecure about your bust, chest, looking a bit too big, you can always do the concave pose, which Liana's gonna show us. So basically, hands on shoulders, and then bring your chest forward, right? This is the concave pose that you've seen a lot of people do. For me personally, I don't really like this pose. I prefer the concave pose, but more to the side. In my opinion, it is better to do the concave pose inverted to the side, right? Because it just looks more classier, in my opinion, just saying. So another way you can make your bust look fuller, okay, Liana, on a count of 3, you're gonna breathe in, yeah? 1, 2, 3, breathe in. Okay, as you can see, her bust, her chest area looks fuller and firmer. Also, if you want to emphasize something, it is always important to push it towards the light. There you go. So, in conclusion, if you want to emphasize your bust, you can either bring your shoulders back, breathe in, and the final method is to emphasize the bust, is to bring the shoulders back, slide the heel back in, bend the knee, shift your weight back, hands on hips, lean your chest forward at an angle, and then turn your face towards the light and face looking towards the camera. So those are the 3 effective ways of making your bust look fuller without using Photoshop, because this way it will look more natural. So let's talk about something else. As you've seen, we've already spoken about the shoulders and how the bust should look, and also the positioning of the feet. Now we're gonna talk about the hands, okay? So the hands are the most expressive body part, aside from the eyes, because as you know, the eyes don't lie, Chico. As the hands are effective in bringing out the emotion in a pose. In this part of the video, I'm gonna be showing you how you can use your hands effectively for posing for photos. The way to pose your hands is to bring your hands on your biceps and then roll your wrists like this. It is a very soft, delicate bend, which also effective if you smile facing the camera. You will notice that a lot of lady bosses actually pose like this to look dominant and powerful. So as you can see, guys, Liana's pose like this, she looks more bossy, right? She looks more elegant, she looks more classier, she looks like a leader. So for posing, you always need to remember to relax, chill. So posing is easy and can be like a deflating balloon. So Liana, in a count of 3, I want you to breathe in and breathe out. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now breathe out, yeah. You see, as you can see, she's relaxed. So when you're posing, you need to feel relaxed. Like through trial and error, you'll figure out what pose looks great for you, but don't stress too much about how you look, because then you will look too stiff or static. So always have some movement, but feel relaxed. The best way to get the best photos as a female is being able to turn your body away from the light and your face towards the light and your toes towards the camera, like I showed you in an example before. This is the foundation to the pose form of a woman. Another way to use your hands for posing is to bend and fold one arm and then to have one arm balance above the bent arms, which causes an expression. This is accompanied by you turning your face to the side, using your best side angle, also can contribute to looking photogenic in your photos. Another pose using your hands is to touch your hair, so the best way to do this is to cross your legs, hand on hair and other hand on hip. So as you can see here, Liana has her hands on her hair, right? Her arms are bent and her legs are crossed. So this is one way in order to look more elegant, using your hands with your hair. So as you can see here, Liana has her hands on the thinnest part of her waist. This is also essential for also plus size women who want to look a bit slimmer. This is a way to look slimmer. So remember, curves are always important when it comes to posing for women. And also the arms is better, will always look better when it's bent And the legs always need to be doing something. Remember, you never have to be static like this, like a penguin, as I mentioned earlier on. So it's better to have your legs either crossed or your legs bent. Anyways, if you want a shot of a lady adjusting her earrings, simply cross your legs, bring the wrists together like this, and then turn your face towards the light and adjust your earrings like this. Chin down, lean towards the light. Micro movements always make the difference. Now, in this segment, we're going to talk about the 9 technical tips in order to make your photos look great. The outfit can also impact the way you look in your photos, for example. A baggy outfit with thick material can make you look wider and bigger, which a lot of the ladies tend to avoid. A way to look thinner or to bring out your physique is to wear fitted outfits or dresses. Because to look slimmer, details like this are very important, especially on a day where you're taking a lot of photos. You definitely need to pay attention to what you're wearing. Will you be wearing an outfit that's gonna make you look slimmer and slender, or will you be wearing an outfit that's gonna make you look like Dwayne Johnson? Sorry. Don't forget, the camera can make you look 5 kg bigger. So you're gonna look 5 kg bigger than you usually do when you're looking at your photos. So let's say you're at an event and you're wearing a bulky dress, right? But you don't have the chance to actually change your outfit. The question is, what do you do? The good news is you don't need to go home and get changed. I'm here to save the day. There's a little trick that I want to teach you. The trick is very simple. Just place your hands on your hip or waist. Push your hip out a bit. This way you're defining your waist area. So let's say you're wearing a bulky dress and you're pushing it in and you're showing your waist because it's going to make you look slimmer. And the lovely thing is you can even do it on the side. This way you have defined your waist and you have a lovely silhouette. Versus before, you look like this. So now, let's talk about the arms. What you should be doing and what you should be doing. The common mistake people do is they press their upper body against their arm like this, making this particular arm look very thick. So in conclusion, if you want to make your arms look slimmer, don't pose like this. Another thing to pay attention to is never pose like this with your hands in your pockets like this when you're posing as a female. Common tricks models do is that they place their hands in their pockets, however, like this, showing their hands. So Liana, if you just repeat after me, you see she's done it easily. This is because this looks more elongating and flattering as opposed to this. So in conclusion, do not put your hands in your pockets like this because it doesn't look great in photos for ladies. Another thing people don't think about is how they hold their buttocks. Yes, ladies, if you're taking photos, do not press your buttocks inwards like this. No, never like this. It is better to push your buttocks outward, forward. Poking it out a little, but obviously in a natural state. Obviously, I have no buttocks. I don't want any. Liana, you do the job. Show them. Show them how it is. Another tip, guys, is classy women are very cautious about how they pose with their chin. Okay, so Liana, copy me. So we're gonna turn to the side this way, okay? Never, when you're posing, never do your chin like this. Yeah, never like that. Okay, so what you need to do is extend your neck, because then it shows your jawline. Because if you pull your chin in like this, you will look more compact and wider, which is not what you're wanting when you're taking photos. Instead, you want to roll your shoulders back for good posture and to really extend your neck to make it look longer and your chin forward. Another tip when posing is to know which angle to take the photos at. Everyone looks different at every angle. People look their best. Some people look their best looking this angle. Some people look their best looking this angle. Through trial and error, you'll figure out what works best for you. Believe it or not, people have different body compositions, and so not every angle is going to be suited to each individual. And this is why I said through trial and error, you need to try different poses in order to find what works best for you. For example, the first rule is photos don't really look good when they're taken from above because they're like the bird's eye perspective. And so it kind of makes you look less flattering and shorter. The second is when you take it too far down, where you almost look too tall and then it comes across as unnatural. My suggestion for ladies who are petite or want to appear taller is to take the photo slightly below, which will make your legs look longer, which will make you look more flattering, and also most ladies want to look tall in their photos anyways. Another tip while posing is to have one foot ahead of the other. So Liana, copy me, like this. Yeah, because this makes you look slender, it makes you look slimmer. Whereas if you're flat-footed like this, you just look like a penguin and you don't look taller. Ladies, pay attention when you sit down because when you have your knees facing the camera like this straight, it's actually not flattering. It is always best to tilt them a bit so that they are diagonal. This will cut off and give a better optical illusion. Another thing when you are sitting with your legs is to have one of the legs in front of the other. It's going to give a better optical illusion of longer legs versus just shorter legs. And what about smiling? You know, people usually look their best when they're smiling. But you also know that some people don't actually like smiling in photos. Sometimes it could be due to insecurities about their teeth, or just, did I say something funny? Maybe it could be to do with insecurities to do with their teeth, or just other insecurities that they have. But there's a solution to this. So guys, pay attention. If you have no teeth, what you can practice is called smize. So smize is you smiling, but you're not showing your teeth. So you can go like this. Try it with me, Leanna. Another thing, ladies, try and avoid doing the sexy face, you know, There's always a time and place to do that, but for the meantime, I would say stick with the other tips. So guys, my suggestion is to always have a game plan and understand the foundation of the female pose. So right now I'm going to video by showing you all the poses, which adds up to about 19 poses that you can use as reference for your photo shoots. this video, I'm going to teach women how to pose to look taller and leaner. The first rule of posing is that anything that's closer to the camera is going to look bigger, but anything that's away from the camera is going to look smaller. Today, I'm with the lovely Irina, who has a lovely fashion style, and I'm going to be teaching her and using her as demonstration on how to look taller and leaner for your photos. So this topic comes in handy for people who want to emphasize their body parts and also de-emphasize whichever body part they want to de-emphasize, if you know what I mean. For example, when it comes to the hips, some people may have big hips, and so in some of their photos they may want to de-emphasize, and some people with smaller hips may want to emphasize. So it's really about the angle, guys. So when it comes to subjects, if they want to de-emphasize something, they just need to move it away from the camera, and if they want to emphasize something, then they move it closer to the camera. For example, a lot of the times I would suggest you need to shift your weight onto your back hip, yeah? So like this. So Irina, just copy me. So like this. And sometimes it's good to be at an angle as well. So diagonally. So then it makes you look leaner, because sometimes when you're standing, for example, stand like this with me, like this, it just makes us look wider. So if you want to look tall and leaner, sometimes it's good to go at an angle, maybe like 45 degrees, and then, you know, shift one way like this. So then you look slimmer. So the leg in front, for example, it should be like this, diagonally, like Irina. You're doing it right. So she's doing it right. So then, like I said, you're gonna look more leaner, which is the aim in this video. The next thing when it comes to posing is that sometimes people are very awkward with their hands. And so if you look at Irina right now, she has pockets, which is a great thing. So Irina, if you just copy me and put your hands in your pockets, right? You can cross your leg a bit, like your ankles, your ankle pose. So the pockets is great, and the way Irina's done it is great, because look, if you look at her hands, okay, let me take out your hand, Irina. If you put your hands like this is okay, right? But if she had just put her hands like in an awkward position, like this, it wouldn't look as flattering. So it's good that she actually put her hands like this, because that's quite feminine. If you put it in like this, because then that's more feminine. Obviously with a man, you can't be doing that. If I start, you know, it's just not gonna look good, you know?
Maybe it's better to stay like this, no?
No, not like this, okay? Because people will literally fuss about what they should do with their hands. The best thing to do is to use your pockets, and pockets are amazing because they allow you to have a range to do a whole load of different body languages when shooting to get good photos. It is always important to pose from the bottom up rather than just focus on your face. A lot of us focus on our facial expressions, right? Of course, that has its place and is important, but if your body language isn't right, your photo will fall apart eventually. So to get a good pose with pockets, I would say pose diagonally with your hips back like this with the hands in your pocket. When they do this, it's not putting the elbows wide, but instead putting the elbows back. The key to this is to have them pull up from the base of the spine. So what I mean by that is because sometimes when you're posing, we like get into a certain position and it just looks a bit awkward. But just think of this, like pretend like you're like me, turn to the side like this, right? And just pretend there's a string on the back of your spine and just kind of pull up. Because then it just helps with your posture, if you know what I mean, yeah? Okay, cool. So when you're posing, if you use that, if you always think about that, then your posture is always gonna be better. Because if you don't think about that, you're gonna be more like awkward in certain positions, which you don't want to be.
Maybe I won't.
You don't want to be posing like this.
Yes.
Nah. Posture, yeah? So when it comes to posing, remember like I've said in my previous videos, you don't want to pose like a penguin, right? You don't want your arms to just be like this when you're posing. So when it comes to the ladies, it's always good to have little motions, right? So your hand can be like this, remember? Like this, right? And you just cross over like this, you know? You can have your hands like this to the side, like this, you know? So then your hands are engaged somewhere. You know, some people have their hands like this. Obviously, I can't do this but you can do a better job than me, right? Not exactly like that, but maybe your hands a bit back. Yeah, because then it looks more, you know, you look more leaner, right? Rather than, because then this just makes you look wide. The key here is to have a slight bend and then roll the shoulders back. This creates a beautiful silhouette, which creates a bit of an S-curve, which is flattering for people. The other thing to remember is that anything experienced at full width like this is literally gonna look like a square, which is not something you want in your photos. So it's always better to pose at an axis, at an angle, like I suggested. You remember when I said, instead of being like this, maybe pose at an angle like this, yeah, and then relax, shift the weight. Yeah, so then your posture is much better, you look leaner, you look taller, you look better. For example, I would say it is least best to rotate at an angle diagonally. The way to do this is to shift the weight, angle, or foot and engage your hands. This will result in a nice lean look for your experience when taking photos. However, you will start to realize when taking such photos at an angle, sometimes your body posture can kind of sink. Remember, like I said, the bad posture. So instead, remember, what should you think of the string at the base of your spine? So then your posture is further up, is like this, right? So, like this, rather than like this. This is just an example of a figure of, like, you don't pose like this, okay? So just think of a string, like I said, you remember? Pull up, so then your posture is better. Another thing to be cautious about when taking photos is your abdominals. So sometimes you may take a photo from the side, right? And you don't want your belly out like this, right? So the way to do it is, I wouldn't say suck it in, because some people go, and it just doesn't look natural. So the way to do it is just to tighten your abdominal, like you're doing crunches at the gym. So you just tighten it. So turn at an angle, and then remember what I taught you this? Remember your hand like this? Yeah. And then you just tighten your abdominal, and then you just pose, So then it's much better than like, now it looks extremely skinny, right? If you like videos like this, don't forget to click the link in my description to have access to my posing guide that will take your pose to the next level. Another problem people have when taking photos is having variations when moving, because sometimes you don't know what to do when you're posing and stuff. So sometimes we just end up standing like this, but then, I would always suggest having little motions to make the pose better. But I would suggest when posing, I wouldn't say, because I've heard some people say, oh, when you're posing, make sure you're like dancing and there's like a whole load of movements. I don't think that's natural. I think little motions are better. So for example, when I'm taking photos for men like this, it's just a little motion, it's not extreme. The way to get around this is to do little motions. So what you can do is face one side and rotate to the camera. And the more you do that, the more relaxed you will feel. Or I would say it takes little steps forward. So there is a bit of movement with the hips. Sometimes you can do a movement that is creative. For example, you can do extreme motions with your hands that almost look like you are performing in the theater. That looks creative. So the best way to get the best movements is to try one motion and then reset. Try another motion and then reset. So don't try and do multiple things at the same time. Just do one at a time and then you'll get better through trial and error. Another secret to a body language that I will show you is connecting the chin to the shoulder. So this really comes into play when dealing with movement. The way to do this is to get your hips in position, engage your hands. Another trick I love is how to accentuate your curve. So the trick is to bring the arms down, but bend the elbow back to bring out your curves. The last thing I'll suggest when taking photos is to create negative space. And what do I mean by that? So instead of standing like this, like a penguin, putting your hands like this on your waist or your hip, right? It creates negative space. So this creates negative space, but it does make you look better. So now turn at an angle. So like this, Yeah, but yeah. Maybe your hand on your, yeah. And then maybe you can look over there. Right, and then let me see this hand. Yeah, that's perfect. I like it. Straight face, you don't need to smile too much. Just a bit like, yeah, there you go. I like that. So like I said, with creating negative space, I'm sure you've seen these type of poses in magazines where the lady's arm is bent. The reason for this is because it makes her look leaner and it makes her look taller. Look, right now she's taller than me. The important thing is to be aware that with some garments, it is hard to get maximum negative space. So the way to do this is to create triangles to get the best photos that bring out your physique in a good way. The way is to think of different ways you can add negative space to their posing equation to optimize their body language. All right, guys, there you have it. So now you guys know how to pose to look leaner and taller as a woman. I'm gonna be showing you a summary of all the poses that I spoke about, so then you guys can practice and get better with your photos.
Solo pastores y jangueanos pa' portarse bien. Pa' la corta nueva que se antojen. En el cuarto tiene el seteo. Antes de ti yo era ateo. Que me chupo hasta los dedos. Baby, dime tú, tan chimbío con ganas. Conectame el asiento, besándote lento. Anoche conspira y también tus amigas, bebé, prendías incenso. La cámara prendía, es tu disruptiva, bebé. Llegó la disco que estaba en el estudio. Corremos con ropa en mi casa de nuevo. Loco como un mix, parecemos un dúo. Yo sí me la subo. Tan rica que estás. Siempre me pides más. Baby, dime tú. Tan chimbillo con ganas. Conectamos el Bluetooth. Le damos hasta mañana. Negamero de Yahoo. Que tengo. Cuando te me pega lo siento. No me hable de amor que no hay tiempo. Salimos de aquí, lo hacemos en el ritmo, el asiento. En el VIP pasa chequeando con el ritmo. Me dijo que una de ellas pide para eso. Baby, como así, yo con la nota así. Tú tranqui que todo vamos en ascenso. Que el mensaje, muy chistoso lo que escribe tu novio. Toque conmigo y él es matrimonio. El amor es manicomio que peca hace más. Tan rica que tú estás. Siempre me pide más. Dice que me ama y no le creo nada. Cora por freezer.
We all want to look amazing in our photos, right? But not everyone is trained like models and celebrities to pose for photos. That was until you saw this video and my other posing videos. I say anyone can be photogenic, and I mean it. In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to pose plus-size models. I'm going to teach you how to go from this to this. I have some tips and hacks that I've learned along the way that I know you will find extremely helpful. The last thing we want to do is to look larger in our photos or to emphasize our problem areas. The lens of the camera distorts our body, and depending on our poses, we can look a few pounds heavier or lighter. So let's get right into how you can look the best in your photos. Remember that everyone is beautiful and unique. We are not meant to look like someone else. If anything, we are meant to look the best versions of ourselves. On that note, I want to introduce you to the wonderful Tash, who is a plus-size model taking social media by storm. She has amazing photos that you can take tips from. She knows how to own her shots. On Instagram, her motto is confidence is power. So me and Tash have some amazing tips to share with you today. And I know Tash has this beautiful curvaceous body, and you look amazing in your photos, by the way.
Thank you.
So let's start with the first tip. Facing the camera head on is never a great idea. It makes you look broader. Instead, keep one of your feet at a 45-degree angle and bring the other right in front of it. Drop your knees slightly inside, back up and hand on hip, straighten up and suck your stomach in and right. Then you can create some curves. This is actually a very popular pose on the red carpet because it elongates and slims everybody's body type. It is important to learn your best angles so you can showcase your body and face in the best way possible. Slightly turning your body sideways and extending your leg out will make you look slimmer, but you always have to be aware of your angles. Once you find your perfect angle, make sure you utilize this in every photo you take. The more pictures you take, the better you'll become at taking photos and mastering your angles. Through trial and error, you will figure out what works best for you. So the aim is to identify the parts that are bigger and to move them away from the camera. For example, if your arms look larger closest to the camera, take them away from the camera and push your elbows back a little bit. So instead of being like this, push them back, and the same thing applies to your hips. It's always beneficial to pose with your arms a bit back if you're plus size. And make sure you bring your fingers closer together on your waist. This makes you look slimmer versus if your fingers are wide apart. So I have some more popular videos in my How to Pose series for women. Make sure you watch it and share it with all the beautiful women in your circle. Now on to the next topic. Let's talk about close-up shots and faces, which are a huge part of posing. So plus size means very likely you have a round face or chubby cheeks. Not like that. So contouring is a great idea when you're doing your makeup. Make sure you contour your face. It can slim your face. So when you're taking close-up shots, make sure you avoid taking pictures from a lower angle. The reason being is because then it's going to show double chin. And you don't want a double chin when you're taking photos. So it is better to take it from a higher angle. Or, even better, you can bring your neck out a bit, elongate your neck out a bit, your chin. And the reason why I'm saying avoid anything from a lower angle is because, like I said before, it's going to make your chin look double and your cheeks are going to look bigger. And when I mean cheeks, I'm not talking about from the cheeks from below, I'm talking about the cheeks on your cheeks. If you like videos like this, don't forget to click the link in the description to have access to my posing guide to take your photos to the next level. But the moment you go slightly higher, your eyes look bigger and your face and chin actually narrows down. So Tash, we can only hope that the people that take our photos get our angles right and our body right, which cannot happen, right? Which means we have to be prepared for candid shots. So, to be prepared, make sure you elongate your chin forward, a bit like this, right? But not too much like this. You don't want to look like that, you know what I mean? Like,
No chickens.
Yeah, no chickens. So make sure you elongate it a bit, right? Drop your chin down a bit, and then it creates a jawline, and then you look much better in your photos. So, what do? Let's have a look at a couple candid shots and see what happens when you're not ready versus when you are prepared for candid shots. So, on to the next thing, sitting down poses. So here's a hack that will make you look more elongated, especially for group shots. First of all, do not go all the way back into your seat, because then you'll sink in the chair. Because if you sink into the chair, if you have cushions, they will sink into the chair, which will actually make you look shorter and create bulges that you don't want for your photos. As much as you don't slouch, you will end up slouching if you sink in the chair. The trick is to sit closer to the edge of the chair. Another option is to sit on a cushion, if you have a cushion. In this case, we don't have a cushion. They usually say when you're a plus size model, it's harder to cross your full leg. So in that case, it's better to just cross your ankle leg, like that, just like that. So everything Tash is doing is now absolutely looking amazing. Look at her legs, they're elongated, they are crossed at the ankle, so she looks more taller and leaner. She's sitting on the edge of the chair, so that elongates her torso as well. Additionally, she has extended her chin out, which creates a better jawline. She has pushed her arms away from her body, that slims her arms as well. Overall, she is looking perfect, and not to forget the angle of the picture. The camera is not at a lower angle, which would have added pounds to her. But now the camera is a little more towards her eye level, or even higher, could only make her look leaner and taller and prettier. Plus size differs from person to person. Some may have wider hips, some may have a wider waist, some thighs, and some would have a bigger bust line. Depending on your strengths and weaknesses, choose your poses. So Tash has a smaller waist compared to her bust line and her hip, so she doesn't need to hide her waist. She can show her waist more confidently by creating an S shape, which we're all looking for in our photos. I mean, the ladies are. Additionally, I'll be talking more about fashion sense and how to dress when you take photos in more videos to come. As usual, I had a great time filming with Tash. Let us know in the comments which pose was your favorite. And it's time to show you all the 6 poses that we shot, so you can use as reference for your photos when you're practicing.
All around the world, all around the world. I just wanna go all around the world. All around the world, all around the world. I just wanna go all around the world. All around the world, all around the world. I just wanna go all around the world. All around the world, all around the world. You already know I'm his favorite girl. Goddamn, how you do it like that? Pretty little bitch with an ass so fat. Send a nigga off, got him coming right back. Ain't never go soft, cause a bitch real stack. Listen, if you a bad bitch, put your hands in the air. Baby, bust it down like you just don't care. If you a rich nigga, throw that money in the air. Make it rain on a fly bitch like you Ric Flair. Slim waist, yeah, my body on 10. Bitches don't want smoke, better get a vape pen. Throw it back, got a nigga waiting. Nigga, I ain't tryna talk, let's be on vacation. All around the world, all around the world. I just wanna go all around the world. All around the world, all around the world. I just wanna go all around the world. All around the world, all around the world. I just wanna go all around the world. All around the world, all around the world. You already know I'm his favorite girl. Ooh, yeah, I like that.
Most people don't realize it, but the difference between a good photo and a stunning one comes down to micro movements. In today's video, I'm breaking down posing tips for women, 4 poses every woman should know. Poses that flatter, feel natural, and make the camera fall in love with you. Let's get straight into it, no long talk, just results. If you've ever looked at a photo and thought to yourself, why don't I look like that? Don't worry, I'm here to help. You don't need filters, you don't need editing. All you need to do is understand your angles, work on your posture, and work on the lighting. And with me today, I'm with the lovely Liana. As you've seen, we've worked on so many videos that have gone viral, and today we will be giving you tips on how to pose for women. The first pose is called the confident stand. It's timeless elegant, and will make you look confident. Perfect for portraits, brand photos, and LinkedIn. Watch how she's putting her weight on one leg that instantly creates a natural curve through her hips. Her shoulders are relaxed, her chin slightly forward, not up, and her hand placement defines her waistline beautifully. What makes this pose powerful is that it's not trying too hard, it's poised, but still feels approachable. So, I remember doing a photo shoot with a lady who had set up her own business, and at first she didn't like taking photos because she always complained that she looked awkward. So I told her, let's make the pose more about your mindset rather than your looks. Stand tall, shift your weight, breathe, and think about the time when you decided to make your dream come true. The second she did that, her whole posture changed, shoulders back, chin forward, and a subtle smile made all the difference. And the photo captured confidence, not just the pose. It's in these moments where you tell the world that you are ready. So to get the confident stand, weight on one leg, shoulders relaxed, chin slightly forward, hand on hip, calm, grounded energy. It says, I'm here and I'm comfortable being seen. Pose number 2 is called the S-curl elegance. This pose right here will make you look natural, elegant, and most of all, feminine. Notice how she's crossing one leg over the other. That alone creates a soft S shape through the body. It's dynamic but effortless. The hip tilts slightly, the shoulders drop, and one hand is brought near the neckline or jawline. That adds grace and movement. This is the kind of pose that never looks stiff, it flows, it's perfect for fashion content, evening looks, or any shot where you want your body to look fluid. I taught this during a shoot in Barcelona. The model kept saying that she looked awkward. I said, don't pose, move. When she saw the first photo, she literally said, that doesn't look like me. That is exactly what I want to look like. That is the power of positioning. To get the S-curve elegance, cross one leg in front, tilt the hips, drop one shoulder, hand near the neckline, keep everything soft and fluid. The result, effortless beauty. The third pose is called the over-the-shoulder glow. It's confident, it's classy, and perfect for evening shots. Her body is turned away, her front shoulder lifts slightly, and her chin drops just a touch. Then she looks back, not directly at the camera, but towards the light. That's what gives the shot that mysterious movie poster feel. If you're shooting at night or with fairy lights behind you, this pose is magic. The back creates shape, the shoulder line adds sophistication, and the glance gives energy. So I've shot something like this before during Christmas time, and I remember thinking, this looks like a perfume ad. That's when I realized mystery in posing is so powerful. You don't need to show everything to make people look twice. If you like videos like this, feel free to check out my posing guide. The link is in the description to take your photos to the next level. To get the over-the-shoulder glow, turn your body away, lift the front shoulder slightly, drop the chin, eyes towards the light, gentle, confident smile. This pose is subtle, but it makes people stop scrolling. And now onto the final pose, which I call the side slit grace. This one is elegant and feminine and perfect for outfits, dresses that have flow. Cross the legs softly, angle the hips slightly, and let one shoulder fall naturally. That asymmetry adds softness and class. Keep your arms loose, don't lock them, and if your dress moves, go with it. The more natural it feels, the better it looks. I remember shooting a pose like this in Istanbul, and the stylist said to me, this looks expensive. I then laughed and said, elegance has nothing to do with the price, it's all about composition. To get the side slit grace, cross the legs softly, tilt the hips, one shoulder dropped, relax your arms, keep your face calm and composed. This is the pose that captures quiet luxury. So those are the 4 poses that women can use when you're taking photos that will make you guys look more elegant and feminine. Remember, posing is not about perfection, it's about presence. When you understand your light, your angles, and your rhythm, every photo becomes art. Most people think you have to be a model to look confident in photos, but that's not true. You just need to know how to pose.
In this video, I'm going to show you 5 easy poses that make anyone, yes, even people who have never modeled before, look natural, confident, and photogenic. Whether you're shooting friends, clients, or just want to look better in photos, these poses will change the way you see yourself on camera. Let's get into it. This is how to pose people who are not models.
Hello everyone! In this video, I'm going to teach you how to pose people who are not models. Right now, I'm with the lovely Patricia. Okay, she is a model. However, the tips I'm going to be showing her in this pose video also apply to people who are not models. So stay tuned. The first pose is called the confident elongation. This first look was all about posture, elegance, and creating height. The outfit itself, a fitted turtleneck dressed with a draped front, already gave me vertical lines to work with. Now when working with non-models, the goal isn't to force poses, it's to guide energy. So instead of saying pose like this, I told Patricia, imagine you're walking into a museum and everyone stops to look at you. Instantly her shoulders dropped, her chin lifted, and she took control of the space. I had her shift her weight onto one hip. That subtle curve creates natural balance. Then I told her to let one hand rest softly on her waist while the other follows the flow of the fabric. The key word there, softly, because stiffness kills confidence. And when her fingers tensed, I reminded her, pretend you're touching something delicate, silk, not stone. That instantly softened the energy and gave us that natural elegance. It's graceful, natural, and confident. And she's not a model. Pose 2, I call the street power walk. Next, I wanted movement, that power walk you see in street campaigns. Here's something I've learned. If someone's uncomfortable in front of the camera, motion solves it. When people move, they stop thinking about how they look and start focusing on the moment. So instead of saying pose, I told her walk towards me, like you're late for a meeting you can't afford to miss. The second she started walking, her posture came alive. Her shoulders relaxed, her stride got stronger, the background crowd added that real-world confidence energy. I shot continuously while she walked through the crossing, capturing those in-between moments where her expression was effortless. Non-models usually overthink facial expressions, so I distract them with movement cues. I'll say walk, breathe, look past me, not at me. That tiny shift adds mystery and power. That final image feels alive. She's not posing, she's existing in motion. If you like videos like this, feel free to check out my posing guide and subscribe to my newsletter, which will take your photos to the next level. Feel free to check the link in the description. The third pose is called the minimalist elegance. After the bold street look, I wanted stillness, a moment of calm. Patricia's wearing a structured blazer over a lace skirt, so I told her, this isn't about posing big, it's about holding power quietly. When someone isn't used to posing, standing still can actually make them feel exposed. So I break the silence by giving them something to do, even if it's subtle. I said, shift your weight to your back leg, drop one shoulder slightly, now look just past the camera. It's micro movements like these that build poise. You'll notice her expression here, calm but intentional. That came from this prompt. Imagine you're waiting for someone, but you already know they're running late. It gave her a natural, introspective face, no forced smiles. And I love how the shadows framed her, it's timeless. When directing non-models, your tone matters as much as your words. If you sound tense, they'll feel tense. But if your tone is calm, they'll mirror back that energy straight into the lens. The fourth pose is called the effortless retro vibe. Now this fourth look had that vintage, everyday vibe, like something from an old European film. The goal here wasn't perfection, it was relatability. When someone isn't a model, relatability photographs better than perfection. So instead of technical posing, I gave her a scenario. I said, imagine you're waiting for your friend and they're running late. You spot them from across the street. Immediately, she started shifting her weight naturally, crossing her arms, adjusting her hair. All of those small, unscripted moments were gold. People shine when you stop over-directing them. I captured the moment between directions, the real laugh after a mistake, the sigh after a pose. The light that day was soft, so I let her move freely to capture her natural rhythm. Hands in pockets, chin slightly tilted, effortless confidence. It's a reminder, authenticity is a pose. The fifth and final pose is called the structured confidence. And finally, the fifth look, the suit. This is where confidence becomes structure. Suit demands presence, and for non-models, that can feel intimidating. So my goal was to make her feel like she belonged in it. I told her, you're walking into a boardroom and everyone already knows you're the boss. That one mental shift
changed everything. She straightened up, put her hands in her pockets, and tilted her chin slightly down. That's leadership body language. When shooting suits, I always play with angles. A slight lean, a half turn. It keeps the frame sharp, but not stiff. And by this point, Patricia was in full flow. She wasn't thinking about posing anymore, she was just being. That's the ultimate goal when posing someone who's not a model. Get them to stop thinking and to start feeling. So there you have it. 5 poses, 5 moods, and 1 message. Anyone can look like a model with the right direction. It's never about copying poses, it's about creating moments. Moments where posture meets personality. And I'm going to show you a summary of all those 5 poses so you can practice them wherever you're at.
Como es, solo pasto y si janguea, no es pa' portarse bien. Pa' la corta, nueva que se antojen. En el cuarto tiene el seteo. Antes de ti yo era ateo. Sé que me chupo hasta los dedos. Baby, dime tú, tan chimbío con ganas. Conectamos el Bluetooth. Le damos hasta mañana, nea, mero de yao. Que tengo, cuando te me pega lo siento. No me hable de amor que no hay tiempo. Salimos de aquí, lo hacemos en el beat, no lo siento. Besándote lento. Anoche conspira y también tus amigas, bebé. Prendías incenso, la cámara prendía, es tu disruptiva, bebé. Llegó la disco que estaba en el estudio. Corremos con ropa en mi casa de nuevo. Loco como un mix, parecemos un dúo. Yo sí me da su.
Ladies, if you've ever taken a picture and thought, why does my friend look amazing and I look like I just woke up from a nap, this video is for you. Today, I'm not teaching you how to pose, I'm teaching you what not to do. These are the 5 posing mistakes every woman is making, even influencers. And once you fix these, your confidence and your photos will literally transform overnight. And don't click off, because mistake 5 is the one that makes 90% of women look wider and shorter. Let's get straight into it. So, welcome back to the studio. In this video, I'm going to be discussing 5 posing mistakes you never want to make. I am with the lovely Mary, who will be the model that I'll be using in this video. So guys, let's get straight into it. I started learning these mistakes by accident, traveling the world, going to Brazil, the US, Japan, and working with models all around the world. I noticed mistakes that they were making. Women weren't bad at posing, they were just doing the wrong thing. I noticed the same patterns. Once I fixed these mistakes for them, their photos went viral. Mistake number 1, the straight on stance. This is the number 1 mistake that destroys your shape. Standing straight towards the camera makes your body look flat and your shoulders look wider. The fix: angle your body, turn one shoulder away from the camera, shift your weight onto one leg and relax the opposite hip. Instant shape, instant confidence. Every model does this. Every influencer does this. It's the simplest cheat code. And if you want to look even more feminine, drop one shoulder slightly. This subtle asymmetry changes everything. Mistake number 2, I call it dead hands. Women always ask me, Daniel, why do my hands look weird in pictures? It's because your hands are doing too much or doing absolutely nothing. Holding your hair too aggressively, clenching your phone, or having your hands stiff do not work when it comes to posing for photos. The fix: soft hands, soft energy. Imagine you're touching silk, brushing your hair gently, or fixing your jewelry. Your hands tell a story, so make sure the story is soft, elegant, and feminine. Mistake number 3, I call it hiding the face. This one ruins about 80% of photos, literally looking down like this. You're hiding your face without realizing. And when your chin is far too up, then you end up with a double chin. So what do you do about it? The fix: chin slightly forward and down, show the jawline, take a step, breathe out, flip your hair, look over your shoulder. I taught this to a woman in Brazil, one adjustment, and she literally said to me, Daniel, I didn't realize I had a jawline. But the truth is she had it, she just wasn't showing it. Mistake number 4, I call it stiff energy. Stiffness kills photos more than anything. You could have the perfect outfit, perfect location, perfect makeup, but if you're stiff, it kills the photo. The fix is don't pose, move. Your best shots happen between the poses. Cross your legs, one hand near hair, and smile. Let your personality come through. In Miami, I worked with a model who actually looked so stiff. I told her, walk towards me like you're late for brunch, and boom, the photos changed. Mistake number 5, I call it collapsing the body. And what do I mean by collapsing the body? I mean slouching, literally, like
walking like you can't, literally, you have to have a good posture when it comes to posing. This right here is the mistake a lot of women make in their photos that make them look shorter and wider. The fix: lengthen your body. Stand tall with a slight angle in your torso. Create a smooth hourglass shape while keeping your shoulders relaxed and confident. Hands placed elegantly near your hips with soft spread fingers, giving the pose a luxurious, high fashion feel. And if you want your legs to look longer, point your toe or shift your weight back. You'll see the difference immediately. Here's the truth: posing isn't about looking perfect. It's about understanding your body and owning it. If you fix these mistakes, you'll never ever take a bad photo, because you will always know how to create shape, confidence, and presence. I'm going to give you a summary of all 5 mistakes that you should avoid when taking photos, and I'll accompany that by showing you poses that you should do. Most women think the reason they don't look good in photos is because of their body, their height, or their face. It's not. It's body language. I've taught thousands of women how to pose, and the difference between an awkward photo and a confident one usually comes down to small adjustments: where you place your weight, what your hands are doing, and how you interact with the environment. In this video, I'm going to break down 5 simple tricks that help women look good in pictures every single time. Whether you're standing, sitting, walking, or being photographed in public, I'll show you real examples, explain why each pose works, what it communicates, and how you can apply it instantly. Once you understand this, posing tips stop feeling awkward and starts feeling natural. In this video, I'm going to be giving you 5 tricks to always look good in pictures. In today's video, I'm with the lovely Liana. She'll be the model in this video, and I'll be using her as an example. So stay tuned. Trick number 1, give your hands a job. One of the biggest mistakes women make in photos is letting their arms hang with no purpose. The camera reads that as tension. In this example, the woman is using the environment as a prop. One hand in the hair, one hand holding the bag, body leaning slightly into the structure. Nothing is random. Why this works? When the hands are busy, the body relaxes. Relaxed bodies photograph better. What this pose communicates is ease and confidence. How women can recreate this anywhere is you can either touch your hair, you can touch your collar, hold your bag, hold your jacket, or lean against something solid. Never, and I repeat, never leave your hands doing nothing. Trick number 2, sit tall, not small. A lot of women shrink when they sit in photos. They round their shoulders, they collapse into themselves. In this image, notice upright posture, soft leg cross, open chest, and relaxed shoulders. Why this works? The camera reads posture before body shape. You don't look bigger by sitting, you look smaller by collapsing. What this pose communicates is elegance, confidence, and self-respect. So, how women should sit for photos: sit tall, shift weight slightly forward, keep shoulders open, you're allowed to take up space. Trick number 3, walk instead of pose. Some of the best photos of women happen when they stop posing altogether. This is a walking shot. She's not facing the camera, she's not forcing a smile, she's mid-movement. Why this works? Movement removes stiffness. It creates natural angles without even trying. What this pose communicates is confidence, main character energy, and independence. How a woman can do this is walk past the camera, not towards it, look slightly away, keep steps slow and steady. Think less photo shoot, more caught in a moment. Trick number 4, create shape with asymmetry. Symmetry is one of the biggest posing mistakes women make. Standing straight with both arms down flattens the body. In this image, weight is on one leg, one arm is raised, the body forms a soft curve. Why this works? The camera loves
curves and contrast. What this pose communicates is natural energy, feminine energy, and confidence. How women should pose while standing is shift one weight towards their hip, bend one arm, relax the opposite side. Never mirror both sides of your body. Trick number 5, engage with the environment, not the camera. The strongest photos of women don't look posed, they look lived in. Here she's interacting with the scene instead of performing for the camera. Why this works? When a woman stops trying to look good, she actually looks good. What this pose communicates is authenticity, comfort, and confidence. How women can apply this is to look at their surroundings, engage with people or objects, forget the camera exists. The camera should feel like she's observing, not demanding. If there's one thing I want the ladies to know regarding this video is that to get the best photo is not about perfect angles, it's about powerful body language. Give your hands purpose, sit tall, and move naturally. Create a symmetry and engage with the environment. And most importantly, stop trying to look perfect. I'm gonna give you a summary of the 5 poses that you can try to always look good in photos. Stay blessed. Today I'm breaking down 3 posing tips for women that completely change how you look in photos. Whether you're confident already or you usually feel awkward in front of the camera. And the best part, I'm not just explaining theory. I'm working with one of the world's most recognized celebrity personal trainers, Sanada, to show you exactly how small adjustments create powerful results. By the end of this video, you'll know how to stand so you look confident, how to pose so your waist looks more defined, and how to use your body to tell a story, not just stand still. Let's get into pose number 1. Hey everyone! So, welcome back. I'm in Miami. I'm with the lovely Sanada. Today we are shooting posing tips for women, so stay tuned because you might learn something. In fact, you will. This first pose is what I call the power pose. On the surface, it looks simple, hands on hips, standing tall, but this is where most women make small mistakes that cost them the shot. Let me break it down. First thing, hands on hip instantly communicates confidence. Psychologically, this pose signals strength, self-assurance, and control. But here's the key difference between a strong photo and a stiff one. Weight distribution. Instead of standing evenly on both legs, shift 70 to 80% of your weight onto your back leg. Why? Because when your weight is centered, your body will look blocky. When your weight is shifted, your waist naturally curves and your posture improves without forcing it. Second thing, the torso angle. Don't face the camera straight on. Rotate your shoulders just 5 to 10 degrees away. This tiny adjustment slims the waist, elongates the body, and creates depth in the image. Now notice the elbows. They are not glued to the body, they're slightly flared out. That space between the arms and the waist is everything. This pose is perfect for fashion shoots, confident lifestyle shots, moments when you want to look confident and grounded. This is the pose you use when you want people to stop scrolling, so let's get into it. This second pose is one of my favorites because it balances strength and femininity. This is where working with someone like Sanada really shows the difference between posing and body awareness. First thing you'll notice, asymmetry. One leg is bent, one arm is raised. Anytime your body is asymmetrical, the photo instantly becomes more dynamic. Straight lines feel static, bent lines feel alive. Now let's talk about the raised arm. When you lift one arm overhead, you automatically lengthen your torso, engage your core, and create elegant lines through the body. If you like videos like this, feel free to check out my posing guide, which will take your photos to the next level. Link is in the description. Also, feel free to subscribe to my newsletter. I'll be sending you weekly updates on posing tips to take your photos to the next level. But here's the mistake most women make when posing: tension. If the shoulders are scrunched up, the pose looks forced. So think, lift the arm, relax the shoulder, breathe. The lifted leg creates a triangle shape, which is one of the most flattering shapes in photography. If you want to take this pose to the next level, slightly point the toes, keep
and micro bend in the standing leg and imagine length, not height. This pose works well for fitness content, swimwear, active lifestyle shots, any moment where you want to show confidence without looking too forced. This pose tells a story. It says, I look confident in my body. Now let's move on to the final pose. This third pose is what I call editorial confidence. Hands behind the head instantly opens up the chest, which creates presence. This is not a shy pose. This is you're watching me, not the other way around pose. First thing to focus on, elbows wide, not forward. Wide elbows frame the upper body and create space. When elbows collapse inward, the pose loses power. Second thing, the hips. Shift the hip just half an inch to one side. You don't need to exaggerate. Subtle movements create elegance. Now, the legs. Lightly crossing the legs softens the pose. It balances the strength of the upper body with femininity in the lower body. And finally, eye line. Notice the gaze is off camera. This does something powerful. It adds mystery, it creates storytelling, it feels editorial, not posed. This is the pose you use when you want magazine-styled photos, you're shooting for brands, or you want to look confident without smiling. This pose says, I am relaxed, I'm confident, and I know exactly who I am. So let's recap. 3 different poses, 3 different energies. Pose 1, power. Pose 2, athletic femininity. Pose 3, editorial confidence. Remember, posing is not about copying, it's about understanding how your body works and using it intentionally. So now at the end of the video, I'm going to show you a summary of all the 3 poses so you can practice. Always remember, it's already a no if you don't try. Stay blessed.
Ella como es, solo pasto y si janguea no es pa' portarse bien. Pa' la corta, nueva que se antojen. En el cuarto tiene el seteo. Antes de ti yo era ateo.